AI has changed the cold email game in so many ways, and most people think the only use case for AI in cold email is to just personalize that first line in the email. But AI has advanced way beyond that, and now the ways you can use AI are genuinely insane. I know this because I spend every single day in the trenches of cold email, and I'm constantly looking for ways to implement AI to stay ahead of my competition. So in this video, I'm going to show you 8 ways that you can use AI in your cold email campaigns, and you can get results like this, and this. The first way is AI powered research. Tools are just getting so much better. So imagine actually having a tool now at your disposal that you can dynamically input data into, whether it was just a first name, company name, and their location. Give it a prompt for exactly the type of information that you want. It will go and do some research and then output all this research on a particular prospect that you can then pass into another AI step to personalize an email back to front. Great tool to be able to do this is Perplexity. Now, what makes this really more powerful and what is great for cold email campaigns is the fact that it has an actual API. This is how you're going to implement it into your cold email system. This is part of my cold email system. I've already done a couple AI checks before. I've found the email, I've verified the email, and now I'm ready to actually personalize an email. So my first step for that is to store the data in this set node and then pass everything into this Perplexity node. Now I'm going to give you a bit of the source here. Here's my prompt for getting the right type of data that I need to then pass into my next step, which is going to write the emails. This is particularly for a finance client of mine. So I'll think of the copy first, and then I'll go back and write the research prompt to give me the data to actually write that type of copy. So if I show you my prompt, research full name, the title at company name, and then I give the location as well. This is just an extra bit of verification to make sure that it gets the right company. There might be a few companies with the same name. I say find the most interesting facts about them or their company, including who they finance. Be specific about their customers and case studies, so I might be able to reference them in the email. Their target market, their location, any recent activity, what industry-wide challenges do companies like company name face in finding new clients or generating leads, because that's my service. I get people leads. Then this is a really important thing of my prompt. I say output casually like you're chatting to a friend in a bar. You wouldn't expect that in a research prompt. The reason being is when that gets past the next AI step, it's not going to output as formal. It has got to be like you're chatting with a friend at a bar. Number 2 is multi-line personalization. Now, all over YouTube, when you get videos like this, the main thing people talk about is just that one line of personalization. They use Clay, or they scrape their LinkedIn, or they scrape their website, and we'll just say, hey, I saw this on your website. We now can multi-line personalize. So for example, here's one step in one of my sequences. I have the subject line automated and the icebreaker, then I spin text the offer, and then everything else is done by AI. You look at that, you can't see what type of email it is. But if I was to preview it, that icebreaker then turns into 2 lines. Hey Warren, saw your work with Lego and Arla. Innovation therapy is a brilliant way to describe what you do. I track corporates across the UK looking for innovation consulting and culture change programs. So this is their target market, and this is what they sell. So simple, but this is stupidly effective. Number 3, subject lines. Everyone's doing the same subject line. Cold emails look the same. So what I do is actually personalize it. Now, what I'm talking about is something like this. So essentially, it's so simple. All I've told my AI to do is pick 3 things from the research, the most interesting things, condense it, and just separate them by commas. And the main goal of this is to have something that will make complete sense to them. Number 4 is custom lead magnet. Let's get into it. So essentially it has a webhook from instantly. So when someone replies positively to an outreach, essentially what I was doing at the time was having 3 emails, and the second email was asking the person the offer, so to speak, or the value was saying, look, I've just done research on. AI would decide what the research was on. It would be specific to what that business probably wants to hear about, but also specific to what I sell, which is demand, interest, leads, whatever you want to call it. And they respond positively. And as soon as that positive reply comes in, it would trigger this webhook. Then I'm doing 2 separate types of research. I'm researching the company using Sona, and then on the deeper research side, I'm researching that specific promise. Then it's going to parse it. You can see all these code nodes. No, I haven't written the code. Claude helped me with that. And then this is where the magic is. It's just started running now. I'm going to show you the end result of the document. Okay, so it's finished executing. We'll download it, open it up. It's created this incredible HTML document. It tells it who it's prepared for, so it's completely personalized their organization and the amount of data points that were analyzed. The next two ones I'm going to show you right next to each other because in my workflow, they come right next to each other. First steps, it's actually cleaning the names with AI. So what I do is I put them through Clean Name Checker. So essentially it's really easy. You are an expert intelligent writing analysis, properly format the name and remove any emojis and fix capitalization. And I'll just give it a bunch of examples. Adam Jones, FIRP. Holly R, just change to Holly. And then at the end, give it the full name. And basically what I'll do is clean the name. And I'll put it all into here. And then this leads me on to the next step where you can use AI. This is something called dsearch.ai, which is essentially just loads of search APIs. It's got really good pricing. My use case is just want to get the domains of that person. Now, there's other ways of getting a company domain, but with the scrape that I do, particularly on LinkedIn, I can't go and easily get the domains. But this is actually the easiest way I do it. And the reason I want the domains is because it has a much higher % chance of actually finding the email as opposed to if you were to give it the company name. So I give it the domain instead of the company name and I find probably 20-30% more emails. I extract that and then I put it into the email finder. And even if that can't find it, I try again with the company name. By the way, if you're looking to send more than 100,000 cold emails a month and scale cold emails literally like ads with guaranteed deliverability, check out MailScale's new unlimited inbox plan. I'll leave the link in the description below and you can just schedule a call with the team to get access. So the next one is AI lead filtering. There's going to be times when leads slip through the cracks or prospects slip through the cracks and are the people you should not be reaching out to. I use an AI step to filter the leads to make sure that it's the right person. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm doing two checks in here. I'm checking that one, this person isn't a B2C. They don't sell to consumers because I can't do anything for them. I only reach out to other businesses. And two, they're not a lead gen agency. And here's the prompt. So the task is to determine if this business needs B2B lead generation services. Only answer yes or no. I give it examples of yes. I give it examples of no. I give it the format and then I give it a question to ask. I find this works really well with prompts. It's really as simple as that. The next one I'm going to talk about is predictive text. You've got it on your phone and instantly now do it with a Copilot. It's really simple how it works. It just stores your previous replies that you've sent and can just pattern match. So what I do in my own system now is the same sort of thing. Store the reply and then have AI look through it every time it comes up and have like a modal come up with some recommendations for what I could say. This is what you said previously. Here's a suggested reply that you could go back with. And finally, auto follow-ups. This is sort of an extension of what I was just talking about really. But essentially what this does is really similar. You could just have an AI step that just is basically trained on the way you like to reply. But when a reply comes in, it will analyze the sentiment and only neutral or positive replies will carry on. Same thing, little database in Google Sheets just to make sure that I haven't actually replied to this person before so it's not sending the same thing over and over again. And then we've got AI reply generation. It will do the reply based off of all the examples I've got in my database and then it will send the email out. This can be a much simpler one. There's something I made on make.com quite a long time ago. A positive reply would come into the webhook, we'd transform it to JSON, extract the details from the signature, go ahead and actually send them a text. And the reason being for this was because if you send a text to someone before calling and sign it with your name, when they get the phone call, instead of it being a random number, it will say maybe Ben at the top. So you got more chance of them picking up. And as long as your Vappy bot, which I'm sure has come a long way, as long as it's decent, they'd reply, they'd probably have a good conversation with it, be impressed. And with a lot of these systems, if you're outreaching with them, it's a lot easier to then sell your service because you've already given it a proof of concept. It's like, well, you've already replied. You know it works because you were impressed by the email and replied. So that's it. I've just shown you how AI is genuinely changing cold email. But the thing is, cold email is constantly changing behind the scenes. And if you don't keep up with those changes, you're probably going to be making detrimental mistakes that are going to be causing your emails to land in spam. So click here to go to the next video where I'll show you how you can completely stop your emails going to spam, achieve 100% deliverability and scale your campaigns with complete peace of mind whilst also getting better results. See you over there.